We'll now proceed to the 25th PNP Engineering Service Anniversary Celebration. Please all rise for the entrance of colors. Mga kababayan, awitin po natin ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Mahal! To!
Alam na puso sa hindi ko'y buhay, lupang milig sa manlulupin, di ka pasisiyo sa lagat at bundok ang bayan nila. Ang isla ng matawag mo'y tagumpay na nagdidinig, ang may matidinig, tuwa ng araw ng malapit pag sila, buhay ay langit sa piling mo. Ang ligaya na pag may mahati, ang kamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Baba! Go! Tukudak! Ya, kemudian. Belum, kan?
Please remain standing, and we would like to request Police Colonel Jason Ortizo, Acting Director of the PNP Chaplain Service, to deliver the invocation.
In the silence of our hearts, let's recognize the presence of the Lord in our midst and pray for His blessings. Almighty God, we praise and thank you for the opportunity to celebrate the 25th Engineering Service Founding Anniversary, PNP Engineering Service Anniversary, Modern Infrastructure for Better Police Service. In your most compassionate heart, we consecrate ourselves for your benediction, especially to all the PNP Engineering Service personnel, headed by Police Brigadier General Omega Jairi D. would bind the Engineering Service family with the theme of their anniversary celebration, that they may continue to draw an array of accomplishments for the PNP organization. Blessings upon our guest of honor and speaker, Engineer Ador G. Canlas, DPWH and CR Director. Let his presence bring profound inspirations, the more to carry out the mission and functions entrusted to them. All this we pray for the betterment of the service in the glory of your heavenly kingdom. Amen.
Amen. Colonel Abelardo Matiliano will now give his welcome remarks. A warm applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
To our guest of honor and speaker, who will be properly introduced later, the Acting Chief Director of Staff, Police Major General Guillermo Lorenzo T. Elizar, sir. The Director of TPCR, Police Major General Benito B. Durana, sir. Of course, our Director, Engineering Service, Police Brigadier General Omega Jaire Jocares Fidel. Sir, and his loving wife, Judge Patricia Angeles C. Fidel, ma'am. Directors of the different PNP directorial staff present, the directors of different national support unit present, former director of engineering service led by our former director, Police Brigadier General George Ancheta, sir, members of the ES Advisory Council, to the awardees, other senior PCOs, PNCOs, and UPs, other guests present, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the 25th PNP's anniversary. Spending a quarter of a century serving the people is worth this celebration. As we look back for the last 25 years, it is but appropriate to recalibrate our working tools as well as evaluate our moral compass to determine that the progress of our journey as PNP designers and builders. We at the Engineering Service are very privileged to be entrusted with the task of being the PNP builders to create the world for the PNP in terms of infrastructure. We may not be war heroes like the PNP frontliners, but we work silently, building for those who serve and protect. Our accomplishments are not just temporary, but permanent in nature. That for every successful police operations conducted, diligent planning were made inside police stations, which was constructed under the supervision of competent PNP engineers and architects. For the past 25 years, we have exerted effort to enhance our services to build quality infrastructure for the next years, decades, and centuries to come, and we pledge to be a more credible, capable, and efficient police builders working in the consonance with the PNP motto of to serve and protect. Again, welcome everyone to this celebration, and may God continue bless the PNP. Thank you and good day.
Thank you very much, sir. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, may I request everyone to please focus your attention on the screen and let us watch this audio-visual presentation prepared by the Engineering Service. Lights off, please.
The 25th Engineering Service anniversary is anchored on the theme 25th PNP ES Anniversary, Modern Infrastructure for Better Police Service. And at this point, we will witness the awarding of engineering service personnel and other stakeholders who contributed to the attainment of the mission of the unit. May we request our awardees to rise. To present the award is Engineer Ador Canlas, together with Police Major General Guillermo Lorenzo Eleazar, the Acting Chief of Directorial Staff. Of merit is presented to Police Colonel Vicente Dalida Jr. as Outstanding Senior Police Commissioned Officer of the Year. Thank you very much. Plaque of Merit is presented to Police Major Aspiro Badyola, the Outstanding Junior Commissioned Officer of the Year. Thank you very much. Plaque of Merit, Senior Master Sergeant Francis Julie Estoque as Outstanding Senior Police Non-Commissioned Officer. Thank you. Plaque of Merit is presented to Will Bunagan as Outstanding Junior Police Non-Commissioned of the Year. Thank you very much. Plaque of Merit is presented to NUP as Outstanding Non-Uniform Personnel, Supervisory Level. Thank you very much. Plaque of Nabuya as Outstanding Non-Uniform Personnel, Non-Supervisory Level. Thank you very much. Regional Engineering Unit for Quartering and Housing Project is presented to Regional Engineering Unit 3. The award will be received by Police Lieutenant Colonel Eddie Santiago. Thank you very much. Land Utilization and Titling is presented to Regional Engineering Unit 8. The award will be received by Police Major Aspiro Badiola. Thank you very much. Unit for Implementation of Infrastructure Project is presented to Regional Engineering Unit 13. The award will be received by Police Major Juanito Sayas. Thank you very much. It's presented to Regional Engineering Unit 1. The award will be received by Police Major George Marca. Thank you very much. For special awards extended to the PNP Engineering Service, plaque of recognition is presented to Attorney Robert Norman Rena as Chairman of the Engineering Advisory Council. The plaque will be received by Attorney Norman Carrion. Thank you very much. To Police Major General Lucas Managuelo, Chairman and CEO of PSS SLI. The plaque will be received by Miss Lady Ann Alfonso. Thank you very much. The Police Major General Mario Avenido, Chairman and CEO of PSMBFI. The plaque will be received by Ms. Cheryl Marquez, Corporate Communication Officer, PSMBFI. Thank you very much. Architect Alan Buenaventura, Principal Architect, Buenaventura Architects, who extended their expertise in the conceptualization of the PNP Medical Plaza. Thank you very much. Plaque of recognition, Pastor Rodolfo Española, Head Pastor, Wyra Christian Assembly. Thank you very much. Plaque Mr. John Louis Marcelo, Marketing Executive, Pacific Paints, Boysen, Philippines Incorporated. Thank you very much. Is presented to Mr. Steve Ramos, Business Development Officer, Davis Paints, Philippines Incorporated. Together, Mr. Ron Louis Edward Paredes, also from Davis Paint, Philippines Incorporated. Thank you very much. Again, a round of applause to all our awardees.
Our guest of honor speaker, the Director of the Engineering Service, our Apostle Police Brigadier General Omega Jairi Fidel.
Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Good morning po. Before I will formally introduce our guest of honor speaker, I would like to congratulate our awardees for this 25th anniversary of the engineering service. And secondly, I would like to personally acknowledge our visitors, some important persons. Starting on stage, we have the acting Chief Director Staff, incoming Lieutenant General Guillermo Eliazar, sir. Our Director for Community Relations, Major General Benigno Bong Durana, sir. Of course, our Chief of Staff, Engineering Service, Colonel Abi Matillano. We also have the Director Logistics Service Support, the former RD of 4A, Brigadier General Ted Carranza, sir. The Director of Maritime Group, Brigadier General Arwin Pagkalinawan. The Deputy SAP Director, my classmate, Brigadier General Manny Abu. The newly installed Director of PCAG, Brigadier General Daniel, sir. The Deputy Director for Operations and the former Director ng Engineering Service, Brigadier General Elmer Cabreros. Our PIO, Brigadier General Bernie Banap. Of course, my wife, baka pa malimutan, Angie. We also have the Director of our EOD K9, incoming Brigadier General Oreta. Our newly installed Chaplain Service Director, Father Jason Ortizo. Salamat po, Father. And to all the engineering service personnel and carry-based personnel, good morning. On the occasion of our 25th anniversary of the engineering service, we are honored to be with us, our guest of honor speaker, this gentleman who belongs to the famed Canlas family of Pampanga, whose name is synonymous to infrastructure development. I am equally honored to introduce this fine gentleman who holds the distinction of having 2 engineering degrees and harder licensure examinations for electrical and civil engineers. He likewise holds a Master of Management degree from the University of the Philippines. His academic achievements are coupled with different trainings to further hone his skills in the field of engineering. Our guest of honor and speaker attended various engineering-related conferences and conventions here and abroad, either a participant or lecturer. With such qualification, it is no wonder that he now holds one of the key positions in the Department of Public Works and Highways, where his illustrious career blossomed. He started his career with the DPWH after his graduation from Mapua in 1985 as electrical engineer, and he rose from ranks to become Assistant District Engineer, Assistant Regional Director, and Regional Director of DPWH. Just like us, he was assigned to various assignment or geographical location. He was assigned sa DPWH Regional Office 2, in Region 3, in Region 6, and Region 7 prior to his present position. I would like also to acknowledge the nalimutan ko sir, yung ating first engineering director, Brigadier General George Ancheta sir. Sila po yung father, pioneer na engineering service. To continue, while his job requires extended hours of work, this gentleman never dwindled in fulfilling his personal advocacy of contributing in the formulation of policies and measures that will enhance or continually improve the DPWH systems and procedures. At present po, the PNP, we have a active partner, the DPWH, in our infrastructure requirements under the DPWH PNP Convergence Program, and we are very grateful for their active partnership, assistance in supporting in our continuing modernization program nationwide po yan. Nakita niyo po, sabay-sabay po ang ating mga construction ng facilities ng PNP. And without much ado po, let us welcome with a big round of applause our guest of honor and speaker on the occasion of our 25th anniversary, the Regional Director of the DPWH NCR, Engineer Ador Canlas.
Thank you, sir. Magsiupo po tayo. Thank you, sir, for that very generous introduction. I think my speech is much shorter than the introduction. First off, to my kuyang and the incoming Lieutenant General, the Chief of the Directorial Staff, Lieutenant General Guillermo Eleazar, sir. To General Omega Jaire Fidel, the Chief of the PNP Engineering Service, and of course, to his former girlfriend, Ma'am Angie, sir. The Director of Community Relations, Major General Bong Durano, sir. Of course, the PNP Engineering Service Chief of Staff, Colonel Martiliano, sir. To my good friend and colleague from Region 7, General Ted Carranza, sir. His golfing buddy, and I believe that you will now start losing golf games. To my kabalen and golfing buddy, Colonel Ronly Onofre of the Engineering Service. To Retired General Ancheta, the first head of the Engineering Service, and a former colleague from the DPWH, and of course a co-alumnus from the Mapua Institute of Technology. To the former head of the Engineering Service, Gerald Cabreros, we started convergence with the leadership of Gerald Cabreros. I think Deputy Director Abu of the Special Action Force is here, sir. Yesterday I was with your men in the Bucor as we demobilized our equipment and people after demolishing several houses in the Bilibid. I hope if I miss somebody here, of course to the Chief of the Maritime Group, Gerald Pagkalinawan, sir. We'll talk later about your concerns. To the men and officers of the Philippine National Police, to the men and women, of course to our awardees, congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Mukhang pag PNP, kala ko malakas eh. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Pagagalit si Koyang Igor pag may... As I was looking into the video presentation earlier, This is supposed to be your silver anniversary. So happy silver anniversary to everyone. Palakpan mo natin ang engineering service. But from what I learned, actually the engineering unit started way back in 1970. No? I think you were then a branch of the Philippine Constabulary Logistic Unit. So next year, if you will count the days since 1970, you will already be celebrating your golden anniversary. You know? But if you count back from 94, so it will be your silver anniversary today. So I'm glad to know that you started as early as 1970 when it was then still under the Philippine Constabulary, you know, one of the four major services in the armed forces. And until it evolved into the office of the Constabulary Civil Engineer, I think General Ancheta was the first head of that unit. And of course, from the visual presentation, if I remember right, since 91, I think you were in limbo because when you reorganized, I think that your office was somehow omitted by the NAPOLCOM. No? So until in 94, when the NAPOLCOM came up with a certain resolution, and you were reorganized into what you now call the PNP Engineering Service, which actually was part of the reorganization of Republic Act 6785, if I'm not mistaken, when the PC was transformed into the PNP. Sabi nga ho ni PNP Chief and former Secretary of DANE, civilian in nature, police in character. So, yun pong parating niya sinasabi sa amin noon when he was our secretary. No? So, that evolution somehow strengthened the engineering service of the PNP. No? We are glad to know that in the PNP itself, we have an engineering arm. We have a unit or a service which would take care of not only the infrastructure program of the PNP, but also as far as logistical units in terms of land use. No? And in every region, from what I learned in the presentation, you have your respective engineering units. No? That's why our awardees came as far as Region 13, Region 8, Region 3, and other engineering units. No? So sa mismong PNP po pala, meron ho kayong unit ng engineering bawat region, and that's nice to hear, no? Because you know, one of the economic drivers of any republic would actually be infrastructure. And that's why the President has now embarked on what we call the Build, Build, Build program. No? And really, it's a massive infrastructure program which would greatly contribute to the economy. No? Because as we all know, when you build infra, then it becomes a driver for economy. No? But right now, we are glad that we have this support as far as the PNP-DPWH partnership is concerned. As I was telling Lieutenant General Elizar earlier during our days in Camp Bagong Diwa, we now have what we call a convergence program, no? So that we now have a window wherein we could build infra not only for PNP but for other convergence programs that we have. To take you back in history, the convergence program of the DPWH started actually in 2012 when we started this convergence with the Department of Tourism. Because the mandate of the DPWH was actually to build, maintain, construct national roads. So there was no window for us to build local roads, no, which are equally important, particularly when you need to enhance tourism. So back in 2012, the Department of Public Works and the Department of Tourism came up with a convergence idea. Okay, that's why we from then on we were able to develop to construct, even to rehabilitate even local roads as long as they lead to tourism destinations. So that from 2012 until today, this is a continuing convergence program. That's why if you've been going around the country, you will observe that we have improved, we have constructed new roads, we have rehabilitated not only national roads, but even local roads that would lead to tourist destinations. I think you will see tourism roads in 4A, in Palawan, no? In parts, of course, of Visayas and Mindanao. No? When we were in Region 7, together with Gerald Ted here, we developed several roads, particularly in Negros Oriental, Bohol, and even as far as Siquijor. Before that convergence program, there was actually no enough window for us to fund such roads. No? Until this convergence program was enlarged, was enhanced, and we came up with several convergence programs. No? We have a convergence program now with Department of Trade and Industry. Okay? We are now mandated, because of this convergence program, to develop roads which may lead to several trades and industries. Meaning if you have an industry, for example, regarding fisheries, and you need to connect the road from the source to the market, so that you enhance the delivery of such products, then the DPWH, through the DPWH DTI Convergence Program, has now generated funds or would have a window by which to develop such roads. From the source to the manufacturing to the market. So we have identified more than 40 trades and industries, no? Whether fisheries, agriculture, communication, even furniture making, and several other industries. So later in that, I think we started 2017 or 2018, we came up with the TICAS, or what we call the Tatag ng Infrastruktura para sa Kapayapaan at Seguridad. TICAS. But that convergence program was first developed together with the DND and the Armed Forces of the Philippines. That's why I think as early as 2017, we were already constructing several projects in Aguinaldo, in in other military camps, no? But we found out that hindi naman mga armed forces lang ang nangangailangan ng suporta. So that if you will recall, I think it was later part of 2018 and early part of this year that we gathered here in this same hall where we had a workshop. And we further developed the TICAS program as a convergence not only with the AFP and DND but also with the PNP. So it started with a small workshop and several proposals from the different field offices or regional offices of the PNP and the GHQ. And from then on, we started to fund projects coming from your proposals, prioritizing them as priority number 1 up to priority 10 or 11. Well, in fact, actually all of you marked them as priority 1 during that time kasi gusto nyo lahat mapondohan. And lo and behold, if you will notice, we have started constructing several infrastructures within the PNP camps nationwide, including, of course, several police stations, whether a provincial or a, what do you call that, a municipal or city police station. And as far as the National Capital Region is concerned, for the TICAS program for PNP alone, we'll be implementing projects amounting to about 1 billion pesos for this year and 2020. Wala bang palakpak doon? Of course, very prominent would be the projects that we're now doing. We actually have started later this year the quartering for our police commissioned officers and police non-commissioned officers. But before that, we already started the multi-level parking, and I think we're constructing a multi-purpose here, right inside the Krame. And we have started constructing several projects in Camp Bagong Diwa, the NCRPO headquarters. I think we're doing something in Special Action Force, no? And those are ongoing projects. But I'm glad to announce today that for the 2020 National Expenditure Program, as far as NCR is concerned, we were able to include in the National Expenditure Program for 2020 the amount of more than 600 million to construct 9 projects here in Krame, and of course a number of projects in Camp Bagong Diwa. And if I would mention a few of them, we have in our 2020 NEP the construction of a multi-purpose building, NCRPO headquarters, Camp Bagong Diwa, amounting to 230 million. We were able to include a police station in Moriones, in Tondo, Manila, amounting to 50 million. The continuing construction of the Police Commissioned Officers Quarters Building in Krame, amounting to 97 million. Another Police Commissioned Officers Dormitory Building, amounting to 56 million. We will be repairing, rehabilitating the Civil Security Group Building in Krame, 35 million. And the simulation building of the close quarter battle, simulation building in Camp Bagong Diwa, 23 million. The construction of the multi-purpose building in the PNP SAF Camp Bagong Diwa, 47 million. Construction improvement of the Special Action Force Headquarters Building Phase 1, Camp Bagong Diwa, 40 million. And we'll be constructing the Crime Lab at the Southern Police District in Taguig, amounting to 23 million. So, sirs and moms, these are included already in our 2020 National Expenditure Program. And we do not see any reason why this will not be funded because they're already there. But I would, of course, would want to solicit your support in making sure that hindi ito mabura, hindi ito mawala. You would have your friends in Congress, and ito naman ho panimula lamang for 2020. Aside, of course, from what we'll be doing, because as we speak right now, we have started our convergence workshop for TICAS in Clark today. I think the schedule for PNP will be tomorrow, and I hope to see some of you there so that we will be starting to evaluate the proposals coming from the PNP. I hope you are ready with your lists, and hindi naman ho dahil sa nandito ko sa Krame, sa lahat ho ng workshop na ginawa namin sa iba't ibang convergence programs, pinakamabilis, pinakamaayos, very orderly ang mga documents na sinabit ng PNP. Palakpan ho natin ang ating service, of course headed by General Fidel. Now, dito lang sana kami magpapatulong. Everybody knows now that we're working on what we call a cash-based budget. For this year, because of the budget impasse which happened dahil medyo na-delay yung approval ng budget for 2019, we are actually working on a hybrid type of cash base. No? I'm sure your controllers would know this, that the validity of the 2019 budget is only until December 31 of 2019, meaning we have to obligate all our 2019 funds before the end of 2019. But of course, because of the delay in the budget, somehow, the period of cash-based budgeting was extended. For MOE and EAW, it will be disbursed on or before June 30 of 2020. But for our capital outlay funds, this will be extended up to December 31 of 2020. So meaning ho, yung 2019 budget natin, kahit ho cash-based ito, in-extend because of the delay in the approval of the budget. But what will be more challenging now will be the 2020 budget. We will be working on a one-year cash-based budget. Ibig sabihin ho, yung 2020 budget, which is now being deliberated in the Senate as they will resume work in November 4, ang validity ho nun at saka disbursement period parehas mamamatay ng December 31, 2020. And if you will notice, yung 2019 na capital outlay, parehas din ho, December 31, 2020. So ano pong ibig sabihin nito? Dapat po lahat ng projects natin na funded ng 2019 matapos ho natin bago mag December 31 of 2019. Hindi lang ho matapos, dapat ma-disbursed, mabayaran. Kasi ho, for 2019 cash budgeting, wala hong tinatawag na extended payment period. Meaning, pagkatapos ng project, bayaran mo na, i-disperse mo na yung fund. Ganun po ang 2019. Dahil medyo hindi normal yung 2019 budget. But for 2020, you obligate, you disperse, you finish all the projects on or before December 31, 2020. But for the 2020 budget, yung implementation period is only up to December 31, 2020. But there is an extension period of payment, yung tinatawag nila na EPP, for 3 months of the following year. Ibig sabihin, pwede tayong mag-disperse for the 2020 fund until March of 2021. Pero yung implementation period automatically terminates at the end of the year. So bakit ko sinasabi to? Kailangan mo nating, we need to expedite, facilitate, fast-track all our implementation and completion of all this infra. It goes to everyone. Hindi lang mo DPWH, hindi lang mo PNP, lahat ho ng national agencies, buong budget ho ng 2020. Siguro sa ibang agencies ho, hindi masyadong challenging. Pero sa PNP at saka sa DPWH na may mga capital outlay, ibig sabihin may ginagawa kang project, mas mahirap. Why? Particularly here in NCR. The usual challenges that we face when we implement a project. Pinakauna na ho, yung siyempre, mga right-of-way acquisition at saka yung mga kakilala namin ni General Ted na mga ISF. Because hindi naman ho ibabawas yung period by which you relocate or you remove or you acquire yung right-of-way dun sa implementation period. So that right now, and I believe if you have the same projects, we could already start procurement. The GPPB, okay, or the policy board of procurement policy board has come out with a board resolution and a circular dated 17 July of this year, allowing us to do early procurement. Ito po yung tinatawag nilang early procurement activity. Bakit? We could now procure as early as today, in fact, as early as July this year, so that we already gain lead time as far as procurement is concerned. Meaning, pwede na ho tayong mag-bidding even without the GAA. Pwede na ho, it's allowed. but of course, short of award. I-bid mo until resolution of award, but no actual award unless and until the GA of 2020 becomes effective. Historically po, ang GAA, kung walang problema, is signed by the President before the end of December 31 of the current year. So that, including publication and other requirements, it usually takes effect third week of January. So if we already conduct early procurement this year, starting today until December, then once the GAA takes effect, we could readily award the projects. Why do we need to do this? Because of the cash-based budgeting, we should be able to gain lead time dun sa procurement activity. Because if we only start procuring January of next year, it will eat up 2-3 months of the year. And that will somehow shorten the period of implementation. And so that we could gain lead time, we are now allowed to do early procurement activity. Because aside from that, the other challenges that we face, particularly here in the National Capital Region, will somehow shorten the implementation period further. Remember, by November 15, we would already have a moratorium on implementation, particularly on major thoroughfares like EDSA and C5. Hindi na ho tayo papayagan ng MMDA, ng LGU dahil sa traffic na nakikreate namin. So because of that moratorium, we already lose 1.5 months. So practically, here in NCR, you will have a 6-month implementation period. Hindi pa po nababawasan yung rainy season. So somehow we will now see the challenge that we will be facing for 2020. That's why we will need the support, particularly of the PNP, through the leadership of the PNP, in helping us as far as maintaining peace and order when we do right-of-way acquisition, when we do demolition, when we do relocation. That's why for your convergence program for next year, what is important is you deliver the site to us clear of all obstructions, clear of all ISFs, clear of all buildings to be demolished. Because if not, that will further complicate the implementation of such projects. So, on behalf of the leadership of the Department of Public Works and Highways, our Honorable Secretary Mark A. Villar, I would like to thank the PNP for the continuous support that you've been extending to us. Mabuhay po ang PNP, mabuhay po tayong lahat. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Please be seated. We shall now come to rise. Citation read, Plaque of Appreciation is presented to Engineer Ador Canlas, DPWH NCR Director, as guest of honor and speaker during the 25th Engineering Service Anniversary. Likewise, he will be receiving a memento, a mini backhoe, a heavy-duty motor vehicle. Like engineering service, it signifies successful realization of construction projects, a symbol of major power in the construction industry. Thank you very much.
Ang
for the exit of callers.
Dapat menawak. Nah, kemana? Go, go.
Please be seated. May we request our guest.